Hello and welcome to this video and this channel. As you probably noticed if you're a regular viewer of this channel, I haven't been uploading an awful lot of videos. In fact, they've been very sporadic and haven't been really focusing on much at all with regard to YouTube. The industry has changed, hasn't it? I mean, let's be realistic. You know, over the last 2.5 years, the globe has changed, the world has changed, and the way people do things is now quite different than what it was, let's just say 3 years ago. Even 4 years ago, my wife and I started to see a massive decline in the uptake for event photography and even wedding photography, which has been the mainstay of our business really for, you know, a long time. I started in 1981 professionally, and, you know, things were very different. And things have obviously changed over the decades, as everything does. And so, you know, we just came to the decision. We were traveling around the country, going to these events that we had been, you know, attending and providing, you know, a studio quality, you know, for events and things like for weddings and such like, and people were just buying less and less. And of course, we're a business, we have to make things pay, and so while we were traveling predominantly, you know, down to London to do a lot of events, we've just found the last few events of 2018, 2019, we just weren't making any money. I mean, we were literally coming away with the costs for our fuel or travel, and that was it. You know, materials, literally just materials. We were making no profit whatsoever. So we just made a decision to just stop doing that, which was a real hard decision to do. We stopped advertising for weddings because we found that weddings were all just purely digital, and there were no albums being produced. Nobody wanted prints of anything. And the last couple of weddings that we did, literally the clients just wanted a memory stick with all the images on it, which just seemed weird to me. I know things change. I know that things change and ideas change and all of those things. But, you know, we're just noticing more and more now, even more so in the last couple of years, that people are not even hiring photographers anymore. They're not even hiring videographers anymore. They're handing out these little tiny, you know, cameras, and they produce a website somewhere that people can upload images. So they get everyone who is attending the wedding to upload photographs of the wedding day and such like, so that the bride and groom or the people getting married have got other people's images of their wedding, which is just bizarre. And of course, there's no prints. There's no prints, there's no photographs, no frames. You know, it's just an odd thing. Everything's just become so temporary now, and especially the business that we were in, you know, the mainstay of our business was kind of events and wedding photography, and it's just all changed. We found that we were setting up a studio. You know, we're transporting all our equipment around. We were setting up a studio with you know, professional backdrops and professional lighting and all of those other things, and people were just wandering onto the studio set, or the area that we'd set up the studio, and we're just taking selfie photographs. And we would say, you know, excuse me, but would you like a professional photograph? And they'd like look at you really strangely, and then just walk away. You know, you think you just insulted them for some reason. We just found it rather odd, and so, you know, we ended up literally with, you know, possibly 10 people at a whole event of 500 to 600 people that would buy some photographs, you know, and very often they were what I call the older generation, the generation where prints are important, where albums are important, where photographs are important, where memories are important. and memories lasted a bit longer than 5 seconds. I'm sounding like an old man, mainly because I am getting old, but, you know, having been in the industry for such a long time, it's just such a shame to see how it's all been put aside now for the sake of, you know, I don't even know where's my phone. You know, it's all for the sake of mobile phones. And I hate to say it, but I knew this was coming anyway when smartphone cameras were actually getting really quite good. And don't get me wrong, I have got nothing against mobile phone technology and the abilities, you know, for the cameras, the photographs, the video that you can produce from a mobile phone now is just, it's good until you, if you want real high quality, then it isn't very good. But from a distance and on a mobile phone and on a small screen, it does look good. Compare it to, you know, a professional setup, a professional camera. There is kind of no comparison still, but that's not what our society is about now. Our society is a 5-second society. People want to take photographs and upload it, and they instantly want, you know, 1,000 likes from people that they haven't even met. And whatever that makes them feel good, I guess. And then they're on to the next one, and they're on to the next selfie, which they'll probably take in another hour's time. And, you know, realistically, that's what's happening. So anyway, the depressing bit out of the way, it's not depressing. It's just the way things change. You know, you move with the times. And so we continue to move with the times, and I'm going to touch on a couple of things. You know, I don't stop buying equipment. In fact, I keep looking for ways to upgrade. You know, things are getting smaller, and things are getting cheaper, and things are getting more accessible. And so, you know, that's just the way things are. Talking of which, if you've watched this channel for quite a long time, you probably recognize a few videos that come up when you type in Spooner Studios, and that's the Panasonic 920. In fact, I've even forgotten the model number now. Yeah, it was the Panasonic 920, something 920. Anyway, amazing camera. It always was it always is an amazing camera. It's just that we just don't use it now. I mean, again, you know, technology's got smaller, lighter, and better. And, you know, at the time, that was an outstanding camera, and we used it. I mean, I've shot literally probably thousands of hours of video on that camera, and it still works. It's, you know, we've still got it, and we still use it every now and then. It's just not our mainstay camera anymore, because just, you know, we're just using the GH5. Haven't upgraded the GH5s. I know they came out with the GH5 version 2. Again, you know, there's a few little things on there that would have been nice, but I just didn't sort of justify really the upgrading cost. Buying a new camera, obviously you'd go for the new model, but to upgrade the cameras that we've got to that just seemed a bit of a waste of money. And you know, the upgrades weren't that brilliant. GH6, I've looked at the specs, I've seen some reviews, looks like a good camera. Again, you know, I don't really see any need to go and spend a huge amount of money upgrading to the GH6 when, you know, this GH5 just does and exceeds everything that we really need from a camera, both video and stills. So, you know, we're sticking with the GH5s until they keep going. And I'll give you an idea, we've had these for 5 years. We've had these cameras for 5 years, and they get used a lot. We're mainly focusing on commercial. Another area that I didn't mention actually that's disappeared, portrait photography. You know, we did a lot of portraits, a lot. And again, it's a side of the industry, in my opinion, that's just dying. We've seen it die, and people don't want portraits anymore. They don't want proper portraits. Again, the only generation that do are the older generation that appreciate, you know, the time and effort and skill of a professional photographer. But yeah, so anyway, equipment wise, you know, these are still outstanding cameras, just amazing. They've never let us down, these cameras. You know, we've got two of them. I'm shooting with one, and obviously this is our kind of run-of-the-mill one, and the one that we're shooting with now is our main video camera. But yeah, no, again, no need to keep spending money and upgrading. Talking about video, one of the things that I've always liked, and I did go through a stage of action cameras, kind of steered away from the mainstream cameras, but I did buy a GR1 Ricoh GR1 camera, action camera, or GR2, which was again an excellent action camera, but it was more an action camera than another camera, and it was good for B-roll. It was really, really good for B-roll, useless in low light, and the audio on it was actually really, really good for the camera. But anyway, I traded it in and then got this, which is an absolutely amazing camera. Sony, I mean, I've had Sony products before, really, really good product. This is a 4K camera, FDR 3000, and I bought it with the gimbal, specifically designed. It's the G5 GS. It was just literally specifically designed for this camera. But I got it for a really good deal. It's been absolutely outstanding. The quality out of this camera is just stunning. The audio on it, and which is one of the things that I like to go for, the stereo audio on this, as it is amazing, as long as there's no wind. But you've got inputs for putting microphones on there. You can still shoot with USB power plugged in, so you can almost have an endless amount of shooting time with a battery pack. Stick it on a tripod with a battery, and you can run it. Quality of the video out of this is just amazing. It really is amazing, and it's light. Look, I mean, the size of it. It's just brilliant. Batteries last a good time. Really good. Something I picked up really recently, and I wanted one of these Manfrotto little lights. I forget now what they call them, a luminaire little light. This is just the 3 LED one, which obviously is no longer made. They now come out with a 5 LED one, but these are expensive, and the new model is equally expensive. I mean, you're talking like £90 for a little tiny light. But my goodness, this light is just amazing. Really, really amazing. I was lucky to get this one, and it came with the little fixing on there. But like a lot of these LED lights, because the cameras nowadays are so sensitive, you actually only need to I use them on the lowest setting and literally turn them on, and that's it. There's enough light. If you put this on its highest setting, I mean, it's blinding, literally blinding. But yeah, excellent little bit of kit. Certainly want to get hold of another one if I can ever come across another one. I like this little, not only just because they're cheap now, second hand, but I mean, they're just amazing little lights for what they are. When you think, we were carrying around rather large 120, 160 LED lights with a great big battery on them, probably one of the best things I've purchased this year. And again, when I saw it, a bit like the light, when I first saw them came out, I really wanted to get it, and I just knew I wanted to get it. This is a Rode Video Mic NTG. This microphone is just mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. Yeah, I mean, I just go out and get one. If you need a small, shotgun microphone of excellent quality, then get this microphone. You can read up about the specs. It's a Video Mic VM NTG microphone. It's absolutely outstanding. We were you always using, until fairly recently, we were always using the original Rode video mic, you know, shotgun little mic. We had 2 of them. They still work. We still do use them in the studio, but not, you know, I mean, why would you carry a big lump around when you can carry this light thing around? So we've used those. We used the stereo mic, and oh, there was another microphone of Rode that we used back in the day and didn't realize that that was 12 years ago. 12 years ago we bought those microphones, and they've worked again faultlessly for 12 years. They've worked and they still work. And so I thought, you know, at the time I saw this, again, it was going for a really good price, and I just knew I had to get it, and always wanted to get one. And so, yeah, I think that's probably about it. I mean, the only other thing that I'd done, and I haven't actually brought it with me, but the other thing that I did actually manage to find, and I did go through several of these replacement battery pack, you know, that you can use with a power pack, and you put like a dummy battery in here with the contacts on there, and then you can connect it to a really heavy duty power pack. Again, excellent, because you can, you know, shoot for hours and hours and hours, especially if you're doing a long event like a, you know, football or basketball, or you know, a cricket event or something along those lines. You know, it's just really, really, really good. But I found a manufacturer of not only were they fairly competitively priced and really good quality, but they also worked, because I went through quite a few of them that just didn't seem to work for some reason. You really do need a serious battery pack. They won't work with a sort of a standard battery pack like this. You have to get, I don't want to get it out now, but I use, if anyone's interested, then, you know, message, but I use an Anker, I think it's a 19,500 milliamp per hour, 2.4 amp USB ports on there, and you have to use 2 of them. And again, they work you know, it works faultlessly. So yeah, I think that's about it. I've waffled on enough now, really. I'm making up for all the videos I haven't done over the years, but I've got a video to do, and I'm going to be reviewing a product. When I ever review a product, it has to be really, really good. If, you know, I'm not going to review this microphone. There's 1,000,001 reviews already out there, but this product is a power pack, a real serious portable power pack that I'm going to be doing a review video for. So all of a sudden, I haven't been doing videos for years, and now I'm bringing out at least a couple of videos, one after the other. It's just the way it goes, isn't it? But I don't think my wife and I have really had anything to kind of share, really, of any use to anyone, which was kind of what I've missed, really, about the interaction with people on YouTube. You know, it is nice to share knowledge and experience, you know, good products that work and things like that. So, but anyway, thank you very much for watching, if you've watched this far. And I look forward to seeing you in another video, hopefully soon, but I won't promise.